In the webinar recording that you're about to watch, Alicia Broody, our national speaker, and I talked through our videos tab, how you can organize and manage your video library as it gets larger and larger so that you can find content in an efficient manner. But we also took it a step further. We talked about some features on our video edit page so that you can make sure you're sending out videos not only to the right people and having the right people see it, but that are the best quality possible. Take a look. We hope you enjoy.
All right. Well, thank you everyone that's joined us, that's jumping in the chat and saying hello. My name is Alicia. I'm the national speaker here at BombBomb. And I am joined today by Kevin. What's up, Kevin? Welcome.
Hello, Alicia. Good to see you, everybody.
We also have a very special guest today, Tara Williams, who works in our customer success department. She's a customer care associate. She's going to be joining us today, especially because we're talking about some really technical stuff today. We're going to be diving all into everything video. We're going to be talking about your videos tab. We're going to talk about all of your video editing features. We're going to be talking about your video page, which is super important. So we're so excited to have you. Kevin, why don't you kick us off and just jump right into it today?
Thank you. I appreciate it. And I'm excited. We fully expect that you guys are going to be using chat, using the Q&A features in Zoom. We also have Michelle and Jen Zemp who are here to make sure that we're monitoring all of those things. We know when it comes to more technical conversations like this, there's a lot of questions, and that's great. And that's exactly why we're here. This is the reason we're doing this one is one, we've got some fun new things to show you. We've got some fun things that have been around for a while, but maybe you just haven't seen them. And also, this is what people have been asking for. We get people on every single webinar that go, hey, are you going to be doing technical walkthroughs? Are you going to be showing us app stuff? Well, great. We listen. We do want to provide those for you as well. So we always like to mix up. If this is your first one, we do a lot of strategy sessions. We do a lot that do broader scopes and ideas. This one is going to be more on that technical front. So please ask any QA, ask any chat stuff in there. For those of you that have already seen a couple come in, this is being recorded. I promise you we will record this and send this to you in the next couple of days in a follow-up email. But really what we're covering here is some specific things. Alicia, do you have something to add to that?
Let me just say one more thing, because as we're moving through some of the technical stuff, it's going to move fast sometimes. And so we might do something once or twice, but please know that we have support articles for all of the things we're showing you. Okay. So if it moved too fast, you'll get the recording, but also we're going to drop those support resources into the chat so that you can go save those resources, go to our support page, and you're going to be able to see some of the same kind of like technical walkthroughs that we're doing live.
Love that. And we've already got a lot of those links ready to go. So they'll be popping up in the chat. So keep your eyes open for those. So here's how we're going to kind of formulate this. We're going to spend just a couple of minutes really talking about why these things are important. You know us, we get to the heart of it every time. We can't help ourselves. So we don't want to just throw features at you. We want to talk about the why a little bit and give you some context for that. And we're going to talk about organization and why that's an important thing. And then the main features that we're going to be covering, or the areas, and then there's features within these areas, are the videos tab, which you may have seen and are probably familiar with in the web app. There have been some changes. You may have noticed those as well recently. We're going to talk about video editing and some of the features that we've added over the last really year or so here that sometimes are surprising. People just don't see them. They don't know where to find them. They don't even know they're there. And they're things that are just going to help you not only be sending out content that you're really proud of and comfortable with, but hopefully save you time to not have to re-record a video if you just need a small change here or there or need to add a little flair. So we'll show you some of those things. And then last but not least, the video page. And the video page is kind of the wrapping that goes around your video when people click to watch that. And it's a really, really awesome opportunity for some personalization and bringing your brand awareness in. So we're going to talk through those sort of things. So first and foremost, let's just talk about organization a little bit. I think all of us, anybody that runs a business at any point, loves organization and is frustrated by their lack of organization at the same time. I'm sure there's a lot of heads nodding on the other sides of screens of, I wish I could just organize this more. I talk with my wife all the time who owns her own small business. And she's like, no matter how many systems I put in place, I wish I could be a little more organized. And so really, we want to talk about that. I found this great quote from Gabby Bernstein, who's an author. She's got a couple New York Times bestselling books. She hosts the podcasts. speaks, all those things that a lot of the people that are writing books nowadays do. And I just love this. It's simple, it's to the point, but I think it really does hit a much deeper level of getting organized as a sign of self-respect, because how frantic, how anxious, how stressful does it feel when you're trying to find things all the time? How much longer do activities take when you're trying to find the pieces for it, when you're hunting down these things versus going, I need to achieve this. I know where X, Y, and Z are, and I can put those pieces in place to achieve that and be done with it. I know for me, if you guys are anything like me, there will be times I'll be sitting up at 8:30 at night working on something. I just put the kids to bed, cleaning up the house, and I'm like, oh, that's where that is. I don't know why it hits my brain at that moment, but it's just one of those things of like, oh my gosh. And then I have to go find it so I don't forget it, right? We're just creating these opportunities that are creating a lot more stress. Alicia, do you relate to that at all?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, I'm one of those people that like, I have to write everything down. I write it down in notebooks and everything, which isn't even perfect organization, because the amount of times that I'm like flipping through a book, just trying to find like a note that I had made about something, that it really does, especially when we're thinking about our businesses, right? Like the business side of our life, even if your personal side is a little bit more chaotic, right? Like the business side of our life and the things that we're doing to actually invest into our business, it's even more important that we're setting ourselves up for success in that area, because it's going to give us more time to do the things that we want to do and be with our families if we do a little bit of this work ahead of time.
It's so interesting. As I was building all of this, I was thinking about some of the psychological aspects and even like genetic components of some of the differences between men and women. One of the metaphors that I heard one time is it's the waffle spaghetti metaphor, and how men think like waffles. We have these little compartments that we focus on that little hole, and that's what we can think about right now. And we try to do that really well. And as soon as that's done, we move to the next compartment. Women, you work more like spaghetti noodles. Like you can, what's the word I'm looking for? Like multitask. There we go. I was thinking multifunction for some reason. I don't know. Maybe that's the thing. But multitask. I watch my wife and how many things she can juggle and carry. And I still talk to her and she goes, oh my gosh, I have too many things on my brain. So regardless of how we think, of how we process, these are things that I think we can all relate to, at least one of these on this list, as something that just goes, oh my gosh, yeah, I could use some help in that. I could let go of some stress. I have not been sleeping well. How many times do you wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning and you're like, oh, I forgot to do that thing.
Yeah.
Or this is on my brain for whatever reason, because we're not as organized as we could be. You know, productivity, relationships, all of these things are amazing from a professional as well as a personal standpoint. I just was meeting with some guys this morning about work-life balance and how difficult that feels sometimes. Not that organization is going to fix all of these things, but if we can start taking steps in the right direction, it can help from that regard. Tara, do any of these kind of stand out to you as things that are things you've been wanting to focus on or could potentially help with organization?
Oh my goodness, sleep better. But I mean, what parent is not going to say that, right? Like, my goodness. But I'm with Alicia. I'm old school to the heart. I have a planner, I have a calendar, all paper touch. Yeah, but I can definitely see the benefits of this entire list. Like,
Good.
I'm writing them down and taking mental note as we speak, because all of this I need.
Well, we're going to talk through BombBomb because obviously you're not going to make a list of all the videos you want to organize and things like that, right? Some of these things are just impractical to think, oh, I could keep a nice little list or calendar of those sort of things. It's important to understand that organization is multifaceted and there's a lot of different things you will use for that. What we're going to go over is how you can be more organized within your video account, within BombBomb specifically, and how we can just kind of save you some time and hopefully help keep you a little bit more organized. So I'm going to do a quick overview of these areas. And then I'm going to pull up the account. We're going to dive in. We're going to kind of get into the nitty gritty and show you around. So if you're new to BombBomb, if you don't even have BombBomb, great, welcome. We're going to show you a really big piece of this with the videos tab and with those pieces. If you've been around in BombBomb before, I guarantee you're going to hear new things today. So
one of the things that I'm so excited about for this as we start to dive in, Kevin, is how many times I know Tara's heard it. I know you've heard it. I hear it. People all the time that like, yeah, I've been paying for my BombBomb account, but I just, I need to get organized. Or like, how many times have we heard from people? that they have their BombBomb account, but their own feelings around it is that they're like, it's too chaotic. And so we're just going to simplify this, and we're going to walk you through each of these things. So I'm really, really excited for this.
Well, and this first piece here is really goes hand in hand with a lot of what you're talking about, Alicia, is the ability to build video folders and organize your videos. I think it's a challenge because you buy a system like ours and you want to record a lot of videos. And yet, the more videos you record, the harder it is to find things. So it's kind of that catch-22. And that's why I think this is really cool. I mean, Alicia, you and I are up in the 9,000, close to 10,000 video range. You think I'm ever going to find a video recorded 7 years ago? No, it's going to take...
Not if you didn't name it.
Yeah, exactly. So we're going to talk through best practices, how to create those folders and organize with that. We're also going to show you on the videos tab, just kind of how each video has an overview. So if you want to do quick glimpses of your videos and see how are they behaving, how are they reacting, introducing tracking, if you don't know that we have some of that tracking stuff of watches, plays, you know, those sort of things. And then we'll show you how you can see deeper into that as well. But I always like being able to scroll and see quick overviews of how are things performing, what's looking well, and then I can dive deeper into that. Obviously, sharing. How can you share directly from the video tab? If you've shared anywhere in BombBomb, these options are going to be pretty similar, but the amount of questions we get about why would I choose one or the other, let's talk about it. Let's show you some of those best practices. And Tara, I'm sure you're on the front lines every day. I'm sure you're getting question after question after question about, well, I tried this and it didn't look right, and those sort of things.
Yes. So I'm so excited that we're covering this, because yes, it's one of the main topics that we cover for sure.
Perfect. So yeah, then we're going to talk about engagement, how to view your engagement, how to view the activities that are going on. And then there's also, of course, more actions. And why would you potentially need some of these things? Some of you are not going to use some of these features. That's great. The goal of this is not to get you using every single piece of this. It's to introduce you to one or two new ones that you didn't know about and show you how that can really help with your flow there. So that's what we're going to cover on the videos tab. Now, when we're in app, that's going to lead very quickly and seamlessly to the video editing page. And some of you may not even know this exists, but this really has been a labor of love over the last year of slowly adding pieces, creating this, going, how do we build a central place where somebody now has a video and knows all the options of what they can do with it, right? So things like an in-video CTA, which is a feature that's been around for a little bit longer. Maybe you knew that was there. Now there's a spot where you can add that onto old videos and do different things there. You can adjust thumbnail, which is that preview of the video itself. We have trimming now. Maybe you didn't know about that, right? Where you, oh shoot, that was a perfect video. I just screwed up the end of it, or I couldn't find the stop button. Great, let's not re-record. Let's show you how trimming can really help you with that. Some video security options just to make sure videos are getting to the right people. And then of course, how you can preview the video page, which seamlessly will take us to the last place we're going to show you, which is the video page itself. And the video page is really cool because it really gives you that opportunity to bring your business into your videos, right? So brand consistency is massively important. There's a reason that companies spend millions and tens and hundreds of millions of dollars to brand themselves effectively and to pick colors out. It's not just red. It is a very specific hue of this red, right? I watched my wife pick out paint colors. Oh my gosh, I was overwhelmed. I was like, oh, that's pretty blue. She goes, that's not blue. That's not blue at all. So, okay. So there's a reason why, and we want to bring all of that in. So logo, brand colors, we have a header that goes over top. We've got reactions where people can react to your videos, contact info that you can put in there. We have a footer for disclaimers and things like that. So yes, you're probably sitting there going, oh my gosh, this feels really, really overwhelming because I just listed off a lot of things, but I just wanted to give you an overview. So if something kind of triggered, oh, that seems interesting, that seems neat, we're going to talk about all of those sort of pieces there. Is there anything we should add before I kind of jump into the account there, Alicia, Tara? Anything?
Let's do it. Jump into the account. So
Okay.
Kevin is going to jump into his account here, and all of you, like, I know some of you are more used to using it in like Gmail or Outlook, but when you log into your BombBomb account, it's always going to put you onto this page where you start at your dashboard.
The one caveat to that is certain memberships don't always have the dashboard. Is that right? Or maybe we've kind of adjusted that. Depending on some of you that have been with us for a really long time and maybe have an older membership, you may not always see this. But regardless, the one thing you will always see is this menu up top here with the different tabs in it. And where we're focusing today is on the videos tab, because that's where all things videos live. Now, if you're a BombBomb Essentials customer, you're not going to see all of these ones up here. You're not going to see emails and contacts because that's not included in the membership that you've decided to purchase. Those of you that are in the higher level memberships and have the additional tabs, that's great. Love them. There's amazing things there. We're not going to cover a lot of that stuff today. So here's where we're going to focus here is on the videos tab itself. Now, this is where it's fun because we have done a redesign of this recently over the last, month, 2 months, somewhere in that range. Exact release date, but we've done a lot of improvements and spent a lot of time talking and listening to you all and going, what are we missing? What's confusing about this? What can we organize better? What features do you need? And I think we've really not fixed everything. Of course, we're never going to do that, but we've really provided some things that'll make things a little bit more seamless. So let's go back and I'm going to review my list to make sure that I don't miss anything as we're going through this. Video folders. Tara, how do you describe video folders to people when you're kind of talking about the video organization? Is there a way that you use that has really helped people kind of retain that and understand deeply what that is?
Video folders is essentially your video filing cabinet. So for those of us who use like evergreen videos, or for my lenders who are sending out, general or videos to their clients, customers, realtors, etc., they always have like a certain category of videos. And so why not separate your folders, your file cabinet, into the different titles that you use on a regular basis, and then tuck those videos into those folders. Because as you and Alicia mentioned earlier, if you have that higher number of videos, unless you know the title of the video you're searching for, it can become a little bit daunting to search for it. So your filing cabinet makes it simple.
I like that. I'm hearing the sound. We all know that sound of a metal filing cabinet.
Yeah.
Like kind of things. And I'm just like going to hear that in my brain every time. So that's a great way to think about it. It's just a way for you to organize topics, content. If you've got videos that fit a certain thing that you're going to want to find and reuse later, great. That's what we're going to use. So let me walk through how to build these, how to put things in them. And then Alicia, I would love to hear some perspective on some of the ways that you've heard people use it. Tara just mentioned evergreen videos and videos that are built for more than one people, but I know you talk to people all day. So kind of think about that and think of some great ideas that you've got. You can see I actually already have a few folders here. We provide a couple of these for you before you ever start anything. One of them that I like is my favorites. If you just have a video that either performed well and you want to save it to reference later, so maybe you can look at it and go, I want to record more videos like that because it was received really well. Or maybe it's just one that you sent to somebody that made you feel really good because it was a thank you video and you want to have that. It doesn't matter. Whatever it is, we have a favorites folder here, and I'll show you how you can add stuff to that really, really easily. We also provide just a standard kind of my folder section here. You can minimize, you can add, you can do all these things. But here's where you can come in and customize and add your own folders here. So next to my folders, you click the little plus sign, and then we allow you to name the folder, whatever you want it to be. So I'm just going to use Tara's example there of just evergreen, right? But name it whatever. There is no wrong name in this. You can change it later. You can edit it if for any reason that changes. And then you can decide if do you want a subfolder. When I started playing in this more and more, it started to feel a lot like an email inbox, like my Gmail, where you can start organizing who's this coming from, what's this? Maybe it's for a specific project that you're working on. It's a specific client that you're sending tons of videos to and you want to organize those. You can create subfolders under all of this stuff too. So kind of think about it like an email inbox, how you organize and move things over. Now, for those of you that I have 10,000 emails in my email inbox all the time. I want to introduce you to Gmail folders. I'm a zero inbox person, so it like kills my brain when I see those numbers. But all right, so we've got evergreen. All we're going to do is click save, and it's really instantaneous. It adds it right away. You can see I've already got the evergreen here. I have 0 videos in it. So I've now got the folder created. It took me 5 seconds to do that. Now, some of the questions is, okay, how do I add things into that folder? Well, the easiest way, if you've got one video that you want to add, is literally hover over the one you want, click, and just drag it over until it highlights that folder. Drop it in, boom. You can see it changes to 1. I can now click into that folder, and I have my 1 video there. All right, right? That took me 5 seconds to do that entire process to get those in there. So that is a really, really easy way. Now, maybe you're going back retroactively, and you're going, oh, well, I've got these new ideas. I want to be more organized. I've got 15 videos that I want to add at once. Cool. Well, we can do that as well. And that's where we're going to start to use these check boxes over here on the left. So you can come in and select these. I'll just grab a couple of them, and you can see this blue menu pops up at the bottom of the screen. I can either just clear that out and go, oops, I didn't mean to select all of those, or I can select this add folder button right here, and it gives me the options of what folders do I want to add it to. So I can go to that evergreen one, save changes, and there we go. Videos shared to your personal folder. You can see that number literally already changed on the side over here. I've got 4. Now, one thing I do like about this that I discovered by accident is it's not going to double add videos in here. If it registers that a video is already in there, it's not going to add it a second time, which I think is really important that there's that intuitive nature to it, because we don't want to have 5 of the same video just added in for no reason. So you can do that. So just know it only has 4, even though I had already had that 1 in there, because it recognizes that I was kind of duplicating that. While I have that selected as well, I'll just show you this on this bar. You can also bulk delete videos. I don't recommend for people to go deleting videos on a regular basis. This is, I think, a really important topic. And Alicia, I can see the excitement in your eyes. So talk about that. What do you usually recommend as far as deleting or ignoring or leaving videos from an organization standpoint?
Here's the thing that you need to understand about BombBomb videos, okay? When you record or upload a BombBomb video into your BombBomb account, it lives there as if you had uploaded it to YouTube, except it's private. But I just need you to think about it that way for a second, okay? So if you sent someone a video and then you delete it from your account, that thumbnail will still be in their inbox. If they go back to open up that email, and they'll still see the thumbnail. But if they go to try and click and press play on the video's gone because you wiped it from the cloud. It's not there anymore. So generally speaking, the only reason that you should ever delete a video is if you don't want someone to be able to watch it anymore. Because you may have sent a video to a year ago to a client, and you're trying to like clean up your inbox or clean up your video library, and you're like, oh, I sent that video a year ago, I'm just going to delete it. Guess what? People go back and watch videos a year later. And if you deleted that video and they tried to watch it and it wasn't there, well, number one, now you look a little bit silly. Number two, you're not going to get the tracking information telling you that a client that you sent a video to a year ago just went back and tried to watch that video. And that's really, really valuable information. So like Kevin and I, we both, have 9,000-10,000 videos in our accounts. Don't worry about it. You don't need to delete it. It's not slowing your account down because you have videos in there, right? Like, so yes, maybe you want to categorize it. This is a place where maybe you want to take old videos and put them into a folder, but there's no reason to delete it, because once it's gone, it's gone.
Yep. And yes, that's exactly how I would describe it as well. So good job. That's perfect. I think that's just a great way. Know that it's not taking up space on your computer, not taking up space on your phone. That is one of the huge benefits of a system like BombBomb, is we host it all for you. So we've got them in there. And what's great is you can always go download them later or find them later if you need them at any point. So yeah, use the delete carefully. Now, that's why the organization in the folders is important, so that as you get to these higher numbers, it's not overwhelming with all the kind of old random ones. But just keep that in mind. You can delete, you can bulk delete, but use that very, very few and far between.
Yeah.
Alicia, are you seeing questions about this?
Yeah, let's address some of these. So someone said, if I have a video in a folder and I don't want that video in a folder, but I don't want to delete it, how do I move it out?
That's a great question. Well, I'll show you a couple of ways. One of the nice things is there are multiple places to do this. And this is really the last place I want to draw your attention to when it comes to folders, is on a video itself. You might even be looking at a video and go, man, how many folders is that in? Because you can add them to multiple folders, which is another great point. You can organize in lots of different ways. If you do it by location, by amount of years somebody purchased a home or bought a loan from you or bought a product from you, right? And you can see all of that with this little folders icon right here. So if I click on that, you can see this is actually in 4 different folders, this one video. And it's because I use it for lots of examples like this. What's great is you can see the little X next to these. I can go, oh, I actually don't want this in my favorites anymore. I don't like that video as much as I thought I did. And just click the X and it's gone. And you can remove it that way. So that's one really easy way to do it. Another way is if you go into the folder itself, you can come in and you can remove them here. You can bulk remove, you can do different things like that. I like the little folder option here just because it's quick and easy and you're on that folder itself. You can go in and pop those. and remove those as needed. But that way you're not deleting the video, you're just removing where it's organized. So Rob, I'm glad you like it. You just said that's slick. So yeah, again, everybody's gonna have a different way to process this and different ways to go about this. So we want to try and put things kind of in as many places as you want to there.
Yeah. One more question on this, and then we'll jump to the next section. But someone wanted to know if a video is, when you put it in a folder, if it takes it out of all videos. No, it does not. It leaves it in all videos. You're always going to have everything in all videos. The folders is just another way to put it somewhere else so that it's easier to find.
Yep. Great. Love that. Thanks for keeping an eye on that. The other thing that I will talk about, I mentioned my favorites folder. If you want to add stuff to this and do it really quickly and easily, we actually have a more actions option right here. And you can see add favorites is right at the top of that list. Now, what you'll see, you probably noticed this in a couple of the videos, is it puts a little heart next to it. So this kind of transitions us into that video overview aspect that we were talking about earlier of how do I see what's going on with each video in a quick glimpse? Well, one, we start to show you what features might be tied to this video itself. So I actually built an in-video CTA on this video when I sent it out to the client, and it shows me right here, that's what CTA is showing up. So I can scroll through and see which ones do I have CTAs on? How did those behave? What kind of visibility am I getting on those? It's going to show me the percentage watched. Again, just navigating how well was this received? Did the person watch it? Did they see it? Here it's got my little favorites icon. So if you need to see that sort of stuff. And then we also show you down here how many plays we're getting on it. So you can see this top one. I know it's a little small there, but has a little 1 next to it. This one's got a 3. This one has 0 because it was just a test. So it shows you if you're getting a lot of plays and things. Again, all I am is on the videos tab in the all videos section right here. And it's showing me this content directly on each video itself. Now, here's a big topic. And Tara and Alicia, I'd love both of your opinions and thoughts on this. We talked about naming videos and how important this is. It's really important from an external facing standpoint, but talk to me, Tara, why don't you kind of jump in on this one? What do you think from an organizational standpoint? How important is it to name your videos?
Super important. Reason being, if you just leave it as the day, date, and year, you don't know what that video is referencing. That title kind of gives you a glimpse into what you're talking about without having to preview it all the way through. And so it just kind of helps you stay organized because you know what you're looking for or looking at as you go through your list.
Totally. Alicia, what do you have to add to that?
So I think the other thing, there's 2 things that I think are really important on this. Number one, for tracking. So when you are sending a bomb video via email, right, from the bomb platform or from Gmail or Outlook via email, we can tell you by email address who opened the video and when they played it. But I know that a lot of you are not necessarily using your videos that way, where you're just sending, one video from your email directly to one other person. And so another place where that tracking becomes really valuable is that if you, for example, have taken a video link and posted it in a Facebook Messenger message or a LinkedIn message, or you took a video and you put it into a CRM that we don't have a direct integration with or something like that, you're not going to get email address tracking that tells you by email address who opened. Because if you didn't send it from our servers as an email, then we can't tell you what it was via email address. However, if you titled the video, Linda, so nice to meet you, well, as soon as Linda presses play on that video, your tracking information is going to say, Linda, so nice to meet you, that is the video that was just opened and played. So you get that insight that way. The other thing that I would say on naming videos, and this is more an answer to a question, someone asked, is the name of the video public? Which comes back to that same thing again. If you're just sending a video via email, via the bomb platform, they're going to press play. They're not necessarily going to see the title of the video. But depending on where you put that video and where they play it, the title of the video is public. So don't title your videos something like, answer for stupidest client ever, because they could see the title of that video. Okay.
It's, what's funny is we laugh about this. These things have happened. That's why we laugh about them, is in jest, or you're tired or whatever. You just don't think through the whole process. And then all of a sudden, that's really hard to come back from when you make these mistakes. So we do laugh about it because it seems silly, but it's happened. We have heard from clients that are like, how do I do this? Oh my gosh. And it's hard to turn back from those kind of things. So be very aware of that.
Yeah, even because I saw a question here in the Q&A, is there a way to have a title that is not seen by the recipient? Well, it's not guaranteed. And so think like, if you have an evergreen lead response video that you're going to use over and over and over again, maybe don't title it evergreen lead response. Title it nice to meet you. Just something to think about.
And then you build your evergreen folder and put it in the evergreen folder. So that way you still know this is the evergreen video. It has that kind of folder label on it. I've seen some great things Jamie just put in there. I've had a person email me about my title. It's a great way to build more interest in that video. You can use the title really well to get more video plays and get more interaction on the content that you're sending. So it is a benefit to have that external facing. I did show you guys, just to Alicia's point, I clicked this little bell icon up here that opened my tracking feed, just because it's perfect examples of, oh, I've got a video play from Linda. So nice to meet you. Great. I know what that video is versus video from February 17th, 2000, whatever. I have no idea what that video is. So I have no idea how to interact with that tracking. So just some perfect examples of that. And I did see a question, I don't remember if it was in Q&A or not, about the percentage watch. What is that in reference to? Is that like a bulk overall percentage watch, or is that an individual person? You can see here in my tracking feed, we actually show you both. So you can see recent watch. The most recent one was watched 100%. I can also see what is the longest watched there. And then we'll jump into kind of the full engagement page and give you an overview of that, where it will build kind of an average percentage watched, which is what you're seeing when you're looking at some of the percentages here, the 100% watch, 73% watch, those sort of things. Is that correct?
It is. And that's actually your next segue, Kevin, is into the video overview, percentage watch, number of plays, and name.
So there's multiple ways to get
segue,
which is great. See, I told you this would just kind of flow through. One, you can actually click on the percentage watched option here, and it will take you to this page. So that's one easy way. But what if you have a video where we don't have that yet because there isn't any percentages watched and we still want to see? Then we can actually click on the view engagement, this little kind of bar graph over here. And what this is going to do, I shouldn't have clicked on that one because this one doesn't have any engagement on it. I'll go back and find one that does. This is going to take us to kind of the back end of the video. So we can just see, what are we seeing on this video itself? Now there's a good still shot for you all. Enjoy it, soak that up, take screenshots if you want. But really, let's give you just kind of a quick rundown. This is our interactions right here on the content that we're sending out. We have one play, 100% watched in that one play. I didn't get any likes on it. I didn't get any comments, any video replies, any CTA clicks, or any of that, right? Mostly because none of those were on this video. And this was just a test video that I was recording for fun. But if you are putting a CTA on, we talked about reactions on the video page, which Tara's going to walk us through in just a few minutes here. When you have those options for people to engage in the video content, you'll be able to get a really high level overview of, are people engaging in the content, right? This is just very, very high level overall for that. Now we have this video engagement bar, which again, this is not the best example because there was only one view on it. What's really interesting about it is as you gain more and more views, if you're using an evergreen or a frequently asked question or something like that, you'll start to be able to scroll through this and go, oh, I had 10 plays up to the 30-second mark. And then I only had 9 plays up to this mark, and 8, 7, 6, and you'll see a taper down effect. That's very normal with your videos, that not everybody's going to make it all the way. Some people start cutting out a little bit, along the path, but you can see that engagement of where people cutting out. This, I think, is really underused for a lot of people. This is tied into that percentage watch stuff, because if you have a CTA for people that you're telling them at the end of the video, and you're seeing that 70% of people are cutting out before you mention what you're wanting from them, that's why you're not getting the responses. That's why you're not getting that follow through that you're hoping for. They don't even hear it. So we need to learn from that information. We need to go, I need to tease this up front, or mention it up front, or teaser for later on in this webinar. I'm using it my own way. Put a CTA in your video, right? Give them other opportunities so that they still have the opportunity to do what I need them to do in response to this video itself. And then down here at the bottom, again, I should have found one with a heck of a lot more engagement, but we will give you a one-by-one breakdown of what each individual person did. Now, this kind of opens up the bigger question and of the someone. You can see that it's written someone right here. Why is that? I'll kind of open this up to either of you, Tara or Alicia, whoever feels passionate about this one. Why would it say someone versus have a specific name or a specific email address? How do we kind of define that? Tara, actually, why don't you answer that? Because I'm sure you have to on a very regular basis.
Absolutely. So someone is going to populate anytime your video has been sent outside of the BombBomb platform. So if you're using the copy for email feature, for example, you're texting it, even posting it on social media. Anytime someone clicks and plays that video, we're going to track it. But if it's not coming from our server, we don't have a way to grab that contact information. So super important, and it kind of ties in with that point from Alicia. Title your videos specifically to who you're sending to. In case it's not being sent through BombBomb, you can still track it later on.
Yeah, someone had asked about tracking for texting in chat. Do you track it if you text it? It's basically what Tara just said. Like we can still track the video play and let you know that they clicked play on it. But because we're not able to track who you're texting from your phone, which you should be grateful that BombBomb isn't tracking your text messages, because we're not able to do that, we can't tell you what contact it was that actually clicked on it. And again, that's where that titling it is going to be really, really beneficial.
Yeah, those are great points. So again, these are ways to kind of use the information. We'd love to be able to just show you who's doing every activity. To Alicia's point, we're glad we can't. That's a safety thing. That's a privacy thing that we don't want to. But if you send directly out of BombBomb, if you're emailing out of the BombBomb platform, if you have one of those memberships that allows that, we will be able to tell you the email address of who did what. Otherwise, there is, you are going to get that someone. So again, this is just the kind of video engagement overview as you're sending it to more people and wanting to make sure you're refining and using the right video and learning from it and seeing who should I be following up with. That video engagement page is a perfect one. And you can either get to that by clicking the percentage here or by clicking the little video engagement option here. So I'm going to keep cruising because we got to keep cruising. A lot more to cover. This is how it always works. We always get talking too much at the beginning. Next is the share options. This is you can see this big share button right here that we have. And these are our standard share options that we have for BombBomb. The two that we're really going to talk mostly about today are the copy for email, copy link. How do you usually describe that, Alicia? I see your fingers already waving. How do you kind of tell people which one to choose and which one to use at which points?
So here's what's so cool, guys, is that you have so much versatility with how you want to distribute your videos. And so the best way that I can try and describe these two different, and I do it on a pretty regular basis, is that the copy for email is going to be any time that you are putting it into an email platform or service. So for example, say you're still using Hotmail, okay? If anyone's using Hotmail, let me know in the chat.
Hotmail email.
Still using Hotmail, right? You can't use the Gmail integration. You can't use Outlook, but you still want to send a video. Well, if you do that copy for email, it's going to copy the entire code so that what they see is they still see that video thumbnail. Okay, so this is for email or a CRM that is sending an email. Okay, if it is sending via email, you're going to use copy for email. Copy link is for any web-based messaging or texting. Okay, so web-based messaging, think Facebook Messenger, LinkedIn Messenger, which I use video. We all use video in LinkedIn a lot. WhatsApp, texting. If you have a texting service that sends out an automated video response when someone fills out a form on your website that like automatically texts them, you can use that copy link, drop it into your texting platform, and it'll text them the video. So again, copy for email if it's going via an email platform. Copy link is for web-based messaging or texting. Real quick, I want to touch on the social icons before we keep moving on that though.
Go ahead.
People want to know all the time about like, well, can I put a BombBomb video on Facebook? Yes, you can put a BombBomb video on Facebook. It doesn't benefit you. Okay. Let me be really clear here. Now, if you've done like, maybe you did like a market update that you sent out to like all of your clients and everyone loved it and you wanted to post that on social too, cool, you can do that. We'll let you. But the algorithm for your social media is going to honor native videos, okay? So it is going to be better for you to download that video out of your BombBomb account and upload it directly to Facebook or that platform, because it's going to do better for you in the algorithm, okay? So yes, you can share a video directly to Facebook or to LinkedIn, but my recommendation would be download it out of your account and upload it natively to their platform, because it's going to perform better.
I know that's probably going to bring up a lot of questions for a lot of people. Wait a second, what? We're not going to go down the social rabbit hole right now, because that's a huge topic for us to dive into. But it is a really good rule of thumb of our goal is not to just make you use BombBomb in every facet possible. Our goal is for you to see success with video.
Yes.
And so I think that's why Alicia brings up that point of going, if you upload to Facebook, to Instagram, to TikTok, to wherever you're sharing, it will typically behave better for you than if you're sharing links from BombBomb and those sort of things.
You can download your BombBomb videos really easy, which is one of the things that Kevin's going to show you.
Oh my gosh. All right, let's keep cruising. So the nice thing, the last thing I'm going to talk about in the copy for email and link is you'll know pretty quick if the copy for email link is the wrong one, because you're going to see a whole bunch of coding and alphabet soup show up on your screen that looks horrible. Don't click send. If that's what you see, delete all of that, come back, grab the link, and then paste that in. It's the kind of the safer rule of thumb there to make sure you do that. So, all right. So we've talked about engagement. The last piece that we're going to talk about here is the more actions, and then we're going to jump into the video editing real quick here. So I'm going to cover these pretty quickly just because I want time for the video edit tools and for the video page itself. But here's some quick ones. We talked about the adding to favorites, or you can see this change to remove from favorites, because this video that I'm looking at right now is already on that. You can click send to if you want to send directly out of this. The share options are probably more primarily what you're going to use, but just know that that send to option is here. You can add to a folder through this, and it will take you to a page where you can organize that. I think it's great that it's there. I personally think the other ways we showed you are a little bit more they're quicker, a little bit more intuitive. So I'm not telling you where to go, but that's why I'm not spending quite as much time on that. A couple questions that we've had here. One is about embedding. Can I embed videos on my website? Absolutely. I use this a ton for the training content that I'm building, because I have to bring the video into the system so that it's accessible on that page. So if you click that embed option, we give you the URL link if you want to for social media. Otherwise, you can copy and paste this embed stuff into the actual web page itself. If that feels super overwhelming, don't stress about it. I mean, this is going to be a very fringe use case for not quite as many people. Never copy this and try to email it. Never copy this and try to share it. It's not going to show up. It's going to look like that. It's going to look like this coding. This is perfect for if you need to put it in a system that supports coding and embedding so that it shows up directly on a web page or directly within a program that you're working with. So know that that embed option is there. If you have an IT person, you're curious about this, talk with them, because I don't want you to get overwhelmed and confused by that. Again, that is not something nearly as many people use. It's for kind of specific use cases there. Duplicate. Maybe I want to copy this and send it for a different reason, or send it to a different group of people, or copy it and kind of reset the tracking on it. So I want this video, but I want to make a little adjustment and trim something, or add a CTA and see how they perform differently. We're A/B testing. You can do that right here by duplicating. Alicia already teased the download. If you want that video file on your computer, you don't want BombBomb hosting it. I mean, you can leave it in BombBomb as well, but you want to download that out to use it for something else. I will say the use case I use this for, again, is building training videos. I need to edit certain things. I need to cut and pull them into my video editor. I have to download the file out. I can record it in BombBomb, download the file out, and then redo it. And then guess what? Once I'm done editing, what do? I re-upload it to BombBomb and use the embed code. So I know that's very fringe, but maybe this gives you some ideas of how you could potentially be using this content in different ways. And then last but not least, delete. We already talked about delete, so I'm not going to dive into that anymore. But Tara, any of these that stand out to you that we need to talk about more? Do these come up on a day-to-day basis much for you, or are these kind of, again, more of those fringe ideas?
Yeah, definitely fringe, but I'm glad that you're covering them because these are the staples, right, of the video. And so we need to know where to go for this stuff. And I know some folks have questions about embedding often onto their websites. And so I'm so happy that you covered that. It's super important. If you want it on your website, this is the way to do it.
Cool. Awesome. All right. So let's jump to this last icon. And I know we went through that quick. By the way, if you do have questions, throw them in the Q&A. We will stick around past our 1 hour mark most of the time to answer some questions. So if you've got a little bit longer, of course, we're going to give you that time too. I'm just trying to make sure I get through the bulk of it for everybody that's here if you do have a time crunch. So let's jump to the edit video page. This is one of my favorite new things. And I'm just clicking on this little kind of pencil icon here. You can grab any video you want and just click the edit video button there. But I think this is a really, really awesome adjustment and upgrade and listening that our team did to you guys as clients of going, how do we make this streamlined? How do we make this more seamless? So here's the things you can do on the video edit page. And then Alicia, Tara, if you guys have specific ones that you want to hone in on and talk about, let's do it for sure, because I think these are really cool tools. You can rename your video if you want to. So I can click on this, rename it, click save if I need to adjust that name. So this might be a question for you actually, Tara. If somebody sends a video with a name out to a client and they go, oh shoot, that was a bad name, I shouldn't have sent that. If they come in here and edit it, it will adjust it for that external video. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, so there you go. Nothing is permanent if we do it quick enough. It's only permanent once they've seen it. So keep that in mind. You can edit and change that video. We have our sharing options up here. So copy for email, copy link. The template option is for those of you that have a BombBomb Plus subscription or something where you've got our composer where you can build things around and email directly out of our system. If you have a BombBomb Essentials one, you won't see those directly in here. We've got our social options. We already kind of discussed that. And then guess what? We have that whole additional thing we just talked about here. So just again, know if I'm on the edit page, I have access to everything that was on that overview page as well. But here's where I want to focus most. Oh, look, video engagement. Again, we're trying to put all of this in one place for you. So I really highly recommend spend some time on this with your videos because there's a lot of cool stuff here. But these are the features that I really want to focus on the most. Call to action, thumbnail, trimming, video security. I'm going to go kind of high level on these real quick and then ask us the questions you have. If we need to come back, we can. And I know Alicia and Tara will hone in on specific ones that they've seen or answer some specific questions. Call to action. We give you the ability to add a call to action button into the video itself. And I'm just going to put an example here to show you. This is not necessarily a link I would send to anybody, but you get the point. We're just going to copy and paste that link here. The options we have to do is we have to put what do we want written on the button. So what is that action verb, that action that we're hoping for them to do? So that's why I wrote click here. I'm put an exclamation point because I'm feeling saucy today. And then we'll put the link that we want them to go to, right? It's as simple as that. And all I have to do is click save my call to action. Now you do have the ability to do this in the new record process. As you're recording before you save the video, you can add one right there. But we also have it here on the edit page if you want to go back to an old video and add a CTA to an existing video. So think through that from a strategy standpoint of I have a video that I send out a lot, maybe I could add something to this. So what that does, let me copy the link for this video and I'm going to play this and I'm going to try and mute it so you guys don't hear my voice. It's going to play the video. After the first, I believe, 5 seconds, you're going to see this button pop up in the top corner here. And that's what that CTA button is. What's great is they can keep watching the video, they can keep engaging and listening to you speak, and they can be engaging with what you want them to do. So all I did is click on that. It took me to this embed page. So maybe I'm sending that to my developer and I need him to have that code. Great. Now actually, I don't know if that would work. That's a bad example, but you get the point. We can add the button here that plays, that shows up while we're watching the video, while they're hearing the reasoning, the value, all of that stuff that you're putting in the video, and they can click and engage with scheduling a time with you. Great example for a CTA. Hey, click here to schedule some time with me so we can talk through how I might be able to help you. And you can reference it, point to it, use your fingers, engage with that button in the video because you know it's going to be there. So that is one of the really, really awesome options that we put, and it'll show you if it's enabled or disabled. And guess what? Oh, I don't want that anymore. I can come turn it off or I can keep it on. So you do have the ability to kind of edit that and adjust with that. Anything you want to add to that?
Yeah. So one thing about the call to action button, the CTA button, is that we're showing you how you can add it to a video that you've already recorded from your video page. But every single place that you can record a BombBomb video, it's going to give you the option right after you've recorded it to toggle on that CTA button, to toggle it on or off. So just know that that's always going to be an option actually from your recording. Kevin is pulling it up right now to show you what that will look like. So you can always add that CTA button when you're recording, okay? So this is where you could come back into your video library and maybe add it to a video that you had already recorded if you forgot, or if you wanted to take that CTA off of it. There you go, right there. He finished his recording and there's that little option at the bottom to turn on the CTA, and he's going to have the exact same options to title the button and put a link there, okay?
Yep.
One of the things to think about with your call to action buttons is that, like, calendar link is an easy one, right? People always want to, yeah, put a calendar link there. But what about social proof, right? What about putting a button on your video that says something like, what are our clients saying? Or meet the team, or read our reviews, or that.
Or give us a review, right? Leave a review.
Leave a review. Great way to get reviews from your clients, right? Especially because if you're using the video to ask for the review, it's a more compelling ask. And then they just click on the button and it takes them right there. There's no work for them to have to do other than typing. Last thing I want to say on the CTAs, someone asked in the chat, is there a way to have a set CTA so that you don't have to add it to every video? Well, we're going to talk about this on the video page, but I want you to take a look. Can you click on the video again where you had it on the video page? There we go. Okay, so this that says click here, that's the CTA he added to the video. But when we get into the video page here in just a minute, you can add a permanent button to your video page so that if you wanted to have the check our reviews, that would always be on your video page. And then you could add separate specific call to action buttons to a specific video.
Yeah, so that video page one is for more generic content. Hey, learn more about us. Here's our social, anything like that where you want to drive people. The one in the video is much more use case specific to this video, and one that not everybody should or needs to see there. All right, the second option down here is the thumbnail option. We automatically create this animated preview out of the first 3 seconds of your video. So after the 3, 2, 1 flash, that first 3 seconds there is what we create. And you can see me smiling and waving, right? That's what I did in that first couple of seconds there. We automatically do that for you. I recommend more often than not, don't override this. Leave that alone. The movement increases the video plays. So leave those there.
We used to have a static thumbnail, okay? When BombBomb changed from a static thumbnail to that animated preview, we saw our customer video play rates increase by 49% immediately. So a 50% increase just from that, okay? The other thing that's important, because I saw someone asking about this in chat, they wanted to know about can you have a standard thumbnail for all of your videos? I've been doing this for so long. The amount of people that want to have well, what if I had at the beginning of every one of my videos, my logo that would fly across the screen? It's not going to benefit you. I'm telling you right now, the best possible thing that you could have in your thumbnail is a smiling human face and motion. That's my soapbox.
No, I love it. And that's what we coach to constantly because of those numbers, because we saw the better results. Now, in the fringe situation, you don't want to use that. You want to do your own thumbnail. You can come down here and select this static option and either upload a picture or literally take a photo from your computer at that moment. That would be the thumbnail that would show up. It's going to override the animated preview. You'll lose the motion, but now you'll have that picture that you took there. So just know that that's an option that's built into this. Trimming is a really, really fun one. I teased this a little bit earlier, and Tara, I know this is one that you said you've been talking with a lot of people about. The reason I want you to think about trimming is it's not editing a video. You're not going in and chopping up a video and doing things. It's perfect for that situation of, man, the bulk, the meat and potatoes, the middle of this video was great. My face was goofy at the beginning because I didn't see the flash and, oh my gosh, can I cut the first few seconds off? Or I couldn't find the stop button at the end, or I forgot to do something at the end, right? And I just want to cut a little bit and trim the beginning and the end. That is what the trimming feature is for. So you can come in here and literally trim a second or two off the beginning or trim a second or two off the end. What's great is you can play the video and then stop it. And then there's this button that says trim to playhead on both sides and trim to that exact moment. And then you can save that. And now what's great about it is you can save it as a duplicate of your original video if you want to have both, or you can erase the original video altogether. I don't necessarily know a best practice with that. That's totally up to you with the situation. So I'm not going to necessarily give you advice one way or the other.
I'm a scaredy cat. So I always duplicate because I'm worried that my trim is wrong. So I would rather duplicate so I don't lose more than what I wanted. And then once I verify that I've played the new one and it plays well and everything's fine, I'm like, okay, well then I'll delete the other.
Yeah. So again, and this is a great question, Russ. I just saw you ask, can you add to the video after you stop it? No, that would be, again, a scenario for probably re-recording at that point. But what this allows you to do is trim the beginning and the end of your video. You can do both, you can do one, you can do either, but it's just to really clean up those beginnings and endings so that there's not like the, great, can't wait to hear from you soon. And then it stops, right? Like that's just a funny way to end and experience that.
But my soapbox on that note, though, is that if trying to trim off the beginning or the back end of your videos is going to slow you down and keep you from recording videos because you have it locked in your head that you don't ever want to have a pause at the end of your video, that you want it to end seamlessly and you want them to think that it magically stopped, don't waste your time on that. Because guess what? We're human beings. We all understand that in order to start and stop a video, it requires an action. We can't do it telepathically yet. And so yes, the trimming is awesome. And our customers have been asking for it for so long. And being able to trim the front or the back is valuable, valuable resource. But don't let that be the thing that slows you down and keeps you from recording videos. Because if you're going in and trimming the end off of almost every single one of your videos when you're like answering quick questions and responding to people and following up after appointments, you're going to end up recording less videos because you're adding steps that aren't necessary.
Totally. Tara, what are some of the things that you've heard lately with trimming? I know that was one you specifically had mentioned to me of, oh, I've been talking to lots of people about that. So what are some highlights that you would talk about with this?
Well, you actually touched on one of them. We get asked quite a bit about being able to splice videos. So, cut one video in half to add another. We're not there yet. So I'm definitely happy to hear that you touched on that beginning and end. We coach to wave and smile before the countdown ends. Well, you can sneeze, or maybe your eyes are a little wild at the beginning. You have now the opportunity to shorten up that beginning, or at the end, no, you don't want to trim them all, but on those one-offs where you really gave it your all and that ending was a little funky, well, now you have a way to clean it up. So yeah, we're super excited about this feature coming though, or being here, I should say.
I think it's, to Alicia's point earlier, I think it's really important to go, don't let this be a hindrance and make you spend more time with your videos. Yeah. Use this as those opportunities where you're like, oh, that video was so good. I'm not going to send it how it is right now. If I trim that second, then I feel comfortable sending it. Yeah. So it's really that opportunity to go, it helps me send more videos than makes it take longer to send the videos that I'm sending. If that makes sense. It's kind of confusing.
Yep.
Awesome. All right. I know we're coming to the top of the hour, so I'm going to do a little bit of a diversion here real quick, and then we're going to come back to the video page and video security here real quick. But I want to make sure for those of you that need to jump off, kind of just understanding your takeaways and what's coming up so you know what opportunities you have. So the biggest things we want you to understand is hopefully you just feel more familiar with your account after going through all this, but really that organizing this content is going to save you time. Again, if I can trim a second off and that allows me to send a video versus re-recording an entire video, saves me time. That's really when we want to use these features, is to make you more effective and save you time. Use the video editing tools to make sure that your video is exactly how you want it, right? So just, again, if it's going to help you really get over that hump of going, I can send this, I feel more comfortable, use the tools. Don't use them on every single video that you're recording. That's not what they're there for. It's not to make you spend more time on these. And then we'll talk about a little bit more of the brand consistency with your video page. A couple of options for those of you, depending on where you're at. If you've never used BombBomb before, you don't have BombBomb. Maybe you don't even know how you got here this morning. Thanks for coming. We're glad that you're here. We do have a link that Michelle just shared in the chat. We give a free 14-day trial, no credit card, nothing's required. It allows you to hop in and play with some of the stuff that we talked about today. So use that link so that you can hop in and enjoy those pieces. We really want you to play around with the system and kind of learn how BombBomb can help you in that. And this link is just a great way to make that really, really simple for you. For those of you that are regulars that like to come to these month to month, next month we're doing a really, really fun thing where we're actually going to bring in some of you. We're going to bring in some BombBomb users and talk about kind of those aha moments, those success stories. What is that moment that really took you over the hump and allowed you to go, oh, this is powerful. This is a tool that I need to use.
I'm going to do something risky. I'm going to do something a little bit risky. I'm going to put my email address in the chat. And if you have a killer success story that you want to share, like a video that changed your year, or a video that worked, or maybe just a response you got from someone that was like, wow, that made my day. I want you to email me. Okay. So I'm going to put it in the chat. Don't abuse my email address. I am not your personal support person. This is for if you have success stories, okay? But my email address is in the chat. It's alicia@bombbomb.com. Nothing would make me happier than having an inbox full of success stories.
I love it. I'm excited. So if you do need to hop off, thank you. We really appreciate you being here. You know, we always like to talk and tell you all the things that we can think of. So we always go a little bit long. So we are going to jump back in and finish that off and then answer some questions. If you can stick around, please. We love having you here and we want to teach you as much as we can. But if you need to jump off, thank you for coming. We really appreciate you. We love that you're part of the BombBomb family here. And thanks for showing up. So let's hop back in. Let me see if I can find my web page. There it is. Okay. So the last thing that I want to talk about with the video editing is video security. This is a pretty cool thing that, again, you're not going to use every time. Don't use it every time. But for really, really specific situations, there's some powerful stuff in here. Now, we give you a couple options. One is we actually allow you to lock the video so that only you can watch this video. I think this could potentially come into some of those use cases you were talking about, Alicia, with deleting videos of, oh, shoot, I sent something I don't want them to see. Maybe this is a good one to come in and lock it real quick before you get to delete or whatever, while you think through what's the best use case. Once it's deleted, it's gone. If you lock it, you can unlock it. So just know that this is kind of a safer option of, oh, shoot, should I have sent that? I need to review it. I'm going to come in and lock it real quick, review it, and then decide what the next step is, rather than deleting and crap, now I have to re-record it because I actually did want to send it, you know? So that's a really neat option. The one that I think more people are using is the password protection and the expiration. I think these are really, really neat opportunities when we start thinking about sending more specific, more potentially sensitive content to people. Now, one caveat to this, please don't send information that you should not be sending that is really, really specific. You know your industry. If you're in financial, if you're in medical, if you're in all of these things that you have to comply with certain rules, don't send it over video. I don't want you getting in trouble ever. So don't even use my use cases, I'm going to say here, as a, oh, great, I can go do that. Check with your security team. I am not a security analyst. So I just like to always say that when I'm talking about these pieces. But if you are sending something that maybe walks through a contract and it's got some specific numbers or specific financial information, maybe let's password protect that, right? Let's put a password on that so that nobody else can find that video and see this sensitive information. Now, a really good use case or a good kind of rule of thumb that I like to teach people on password, and Tara and Alicia, if you guys have other advice around this, please, I'd be really interested to hear it as well. Don't send them the video with the password to the video in the same email. Because guess what? If somebody finds that email, now what's the point of the password? So typically what I'll do is send a video and just let in there, hey, I'm going to send you another email with the password to view this video. That way that there is that security, there is that separation. So if somebody finds the link to the video or finds that email, they don't have the password as well, right? Because it just kind of cancels out that point. But it's really, really great. You get to come in and you can actually type out whatever password you want, copy that. We can even generate some for you. You can see we make them real tricky and real secure. So if you're going, my person's never going to remember that, they're never going to find out, or I'm never going to remember that, you can type in your own if you want to, but we do generate a really secure one for you there with that. The other one is the expiration. And I think the expiration is really, really neat because it allows you to say, I want this video to be viewable until this time. It does not delete the video out of your account. The video will still remain in your account and you can come adjust this later, but it only allows it to be viewable up until the day and time that you suggest. One of the use cases that I've heard clients use this for is for contract negotiating, right? Yes. I've got a contract. I'm going to send it to you. I'm going to walk you through it in a screen record video. And then guess what? This contract is only good until this day. I tell them that in the video. They know that. We're all on the same page. Well, I don't want them stumbling across it next week when I can't offer that deal anymore or offer that value or rate or whatever it may be. I'm just going to put it to expire. So that way we don't open up conversations that all of a sudden they're sharing that with people. And now we're just in a sticky situation where I cannot offer that for whatever reason. So again, that's one use case. But Alicia, Tara, do you have any other use cases or kind of best practices with those tools of ways you've seen them used?
Use case I've seen specifically is for folks who are concerned about their video email being forwarded, right? Because we do have that option that your email can be forwarded. If you don't want other folks to see what's in that video, the information covered, as you mentioned, password protect it. Because you never know where that video is going to go after it's sent. We can't control it, but this is a way that we can secure it for you. So
Yep.
Love that. Now, caveat to that, a lot of times it can be a really good thing if your video is forwarded on. I mean, we've had situations, Alicia, I know when you and I were working in sales where it was like, we were talking to somebody and all of a sudden our video is getting like 40, 50 plays, and it helped us build the momentum within the needed to get that deal across the line. So don't password protect every video. Again, don't use these features all the time. They are for specific use cases, specific situations there that can be really helpful. So that's kind of the video edit page as a whole. Is there anything we want to add to that before we jump over to the video page to kind of finish?
So let's finish strong on the video page. And as Kevin is pulling up the video page, I think one of the things that's really cool about the video page is this is where your videos live, right? Every single time someone presses play on one of your videos, it's going to open up on the video page. So you have an incredible opportunity here to do this one time, right? When you set up your account, you set up your video page, and then every single time someone plays your video, they're getting the valuable information, the brand consistency, your call to action over and over and over again.
Yeah, I went ahead and stopped sharing because I know Tara's going to kind of walk us through the video page. This is something that she's been working with clients on a lot. This has been a theme that has come up lately of people just asking some questions. So she's going to go ahead and share her screen and kind of walk you all through this. Tara, take it from here. I can see you're already kind of on the video edit page. Will you walk people real quick through how you got here, just so they have an idea of how to find it in their account?
Absolutely. So video edit page is what we're looking for. You're going to go to the top right-hand corner of your BombBomb screen where your name and profile picture appear. And then you're going to just click on edit video page. Now, what I call the video edit page is kind of like your video business card. You have some true opportunity here to brand not only yourself, your videos, etc. So I want to simplify this a little bit before we jump too deep in picking this apart. Our profile is a handshake with this page, meaning all of the information that is going to be found on this page right here actually lives in your profile area. So let's just take a quick peek at that section for 2 seconds, because it's going to be important as we pick this apart. So I'm going to go back up to the top right-hand corner where my name appears, and I'm going to go into edit profile. So edit profile is super important. If you haven't already done this, BombBomb users, fill this out. Your name, your business information, your contact phone number, email lives in here. Your image, as far as like what you want, your headshot, etc., all lives inside of this profile window. Specifically speaking, I want to call our attention to this organization tab on the right here. So this is where we're going to get into the actual branding piece of this all, where your logo lives. For my folks who need to have disclaimers on all of their video content, that disclaimer is going to live right in this area here. My realtors, if you've got license numbers that need to be shown, you're going to put that information right in this area, and you're just going to click update my profile at the bottom. So that's what's locking all of this information into place. Your logo can be uploaded from your actual device. So choose a file, we'll open up your computer, you go into your pictures, you can pick, as long as it's a JPEG, pick your picture, and it's going to throw it into that logo area. So that was super important. I wanted to make sure I covered that before we hop on over to our edit page. So backing us up for just a taste. So now that we're in the edit video page, guys, top to bottom, you can tailor this to what you would like. I know we're a little pressed on time, but note or put a note, go to your Chrome web store and look up eyedropper. Eyedropper is super important if you've got specific colors in your brand as far as your logo that you need to match up. Instead of trying to eyeball it, you can use eyedropper, which I actually have right here in my taskbar. And eyedropper, you can say, hey, I want to pick a color. Where's my bomb orange? And it will give you the code of that color, which is going to be useful when we're setting up this video page. Okay, so going back over to the right, we're going to start with logo. So typically when you come into the bomb branding page to start, everything's turned off. It's gray. So to turn it on, after you've already gone in, you've filled out your profile information, you've locked everything in. Now all you got to do is turn them on. So we're going to turn on logo, that brand color. As I mentioned, eyedropper is going to be super helpful if you've got specific colorings, because we could go in and just copy and paste that color code. Or if you want to eyeball it, you now have the opportunity to do so. Our header button, as we touched on a little bit earlier, that CTA that you don't want to go away. You're trying to drive folks to your website, your reviews. You're trying to get them to set appointments with you. You've got an opportunity right in your video page to lock in a forever CTA. You name it what you want, just like we did with the normal CTA process. You throw in your web address or the link there. If you want to have reactions, so similar to social media, that hit thumbs up or that like button, that comment feature, you can actually control that right from this video landing page. Your contact information, again, that handshake that I talked about earlier with the profile, your name, your phone number, your contact details all reside in that profile. All you got to do is switch them on. So I can come down and turn on everything that I want to show on my video branding page. All of it, none of it, some of it, you get to tailor it right here. Our footer area, this is going to go into that disclaimer piece. Again, if you've got it in there, you'll have the opportunity to paste it here in the video landing page. So super simple. I just wanted to simplify this for you guys as much as I can, because it's not difficult at all. Do your profile, update, and then come on over to edit your video page, turn them on. And once you feel good about the view, all you're going to do is hit that blue Save Changes button. And that's the video edit page.
You have to click Save Changes. Don't forget to click Save Changes.
Save.
Yes, I'm so glad you touched on that, because I've done it before where I just forgot to click the button and then went to a new page. I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. And then you'll be like, I know it was there. I did all this work. But guess what? Even if that happens, because you took that pre-step of filling out everything in your profile, you just hop back over, turn them on, click save, and you'll be good.
Yeah. The setting up your video page, Tara did a great job of walking us through it step by step. But like she said, once you fill out your profile and you come in here to edit your video page, it's really a matter of the logo's already there. If you uploaded it on your profile page, it's do you want to add a header button, adjust your brand color, and turn everything on, and you're good to go.
Yeah, so honestly, the video page shouldn't take you more than 5-10 minutes.
Yep.
To do. It's a pretty quick, easy process. If you've got your logo, you've got your pictures, you've got those sort of things loaded on. So it's a really, really great opportunity just to really up the experience of people as they're watching your video, as they're clicking on that. Even if they watch the video, they get the link on social media. When they click that link, it takes them to your video page with that video playing on it. So just a really good way to bring all of that work you built from a brand standpoint, have the colors, have the logo, and make things easily accessible for them with the reactions and some of those sort of things, right? The whole point of these videos, Alicia, you kind of taught me this a while ago, is we're trying to start conversations. The goal is not to get them to watch a video and then, great, we win. It's to start a conversation. It's to engage back and forth. It's to build that relationship and those sort of things. And so the more opportunities, whether it's a like or a reply with video or leave a reply or reply, we want them to have the option that feels comfortable to them. So I highly recommend having some of those things on, because it's really, really fun to get those replies. And the easier it is for them, the more likely they are to do it. So
Yep.
Well, thank you all. I know we've gone really, really long. I think there's one question in the Q&A that I saw there from Mike. Mike, if you're still with us, about texting out of the BombBomb platform. Yes, you can text from BombBomb, sort of. You're not going to be doing it from the BombBomb web app. Everything we've been walking through right now is not going to be where you're going to be able to do that. Where you can do that is from the BombBomb mobile app. So if you go in and download the BombBomb mobile app, record a video within that, what it's going to do is it's going to give you the option to share that. You can choose text message, and then it takes that video link into your normal text messaging client that you use. So if you're on an iPhone and you have iMessage or whatever, it will take you in there. So just know it is sending from your phone number, your personal phone number. And another caveat I always like to throw in there is don't just start trying to text groups, because we've all been on a group text before. We know how that feels. If it's a business standpoint, that's not necessarily the best way to interact with people. And it's going to show them all these phone numbers they don't know and those sort of things. So make sure that you're doing it in a respectful, personal way, but you can take a video out of the BombBomb mobile app and text it directly from your phone there. Are there any other questions or anything you've seen?
There's only one more question in chat that I wanted to answer. Rick said, does the BombBomb logo always going to be there or present? You saw the BombBomb logo on the video landing pages because you saw Kevin's landing page and Tara's landing page, and they work for BombBomb. So the logo that they've uploaded to that page was the BombBomb logo. You're going to upload whatever logo you want on that page. That BombBomb logo will not be present. What they'll see is down at the very bottom, it'll say powered by BombBomb.
Yes, I'm so glad you clarified that. That's a great question, Frank. Thank you for asking.
Yeah.
I want to show you all one quick thing, because I know whenever we finish these, people will always go, oh, I love these new ideas. How do I retain this information more effectively? One, we will send the recording. You will get a follow-up email from us in the next few days. Michelle, which also huge thank you to Michelle and Jen, who are on this as well, answering questions. They have been killing it in Q&A and on chat. So thank you both for doing that. But Michelle will be sending out a follow-up email, so you'll get that as well with the recording. The other resource, and we've shared a couple links to this, but I want to show you is if you're in your account, you can click on your name to get this drop-down menu. And then we have BombBomb Studios, which is our on-demand learning center. We've got courses for all sorts of stuff. You're going to see my face on it a ton, so I apologize. I know it's not ideal, but we work with what we've got, right? I wanted to show you this specifically for a couple of courses. One, I did share the link for this, but we do have one that's called the First 5 Steps to Building a Strong Foundation with BombBomb. That walks you through how to fill out your profile, how to build your video page, and a couple of additional pieces in that as well. So if that's something you want to work at on your own pace, go and take a look at that. That resource is in here. We also have really specific feature courses as well. So we have one in here specifically for the InVideo CTA. We talked about that. It talks you through why is this beneficial? How do I use it? Where are opportunities that I can use it? And then there's even some tips and tricks in there as well. And then we also have them for a lot of other things, tracking, but video pages is on here as well. Video privacy is on here. So if there's one of those features that we mentioned that you think would be really beneficial, hop in here. These courses are like 10 minutes long. The getting started one's a little bit longer. We've got some strategy ones here. We've even got some for kind of on demand, becoming a video producer, being on camera, whatever. There's a lot of stuff on here depending on what you need. So definitely take a look at that, because I think there's some beneficial stuff to kind of reiterate there. Woo! We went way over in time, and I thank you all for sticking with us. Thank you. It was a lot of information, but we really, hopefully this gave you a few new ideas of things that you can use. Maybe just gave you something. I'm going to go organize my content a little bit more. I'm going to use one of these edit tools, or I'm going to build my video page, whatever it is. Don't try and do it all. Just pick one or two that feel really helpful for you in continuing on your video journey. But we really, really appreciate you all being here. Tara, thank you. Thanks for hopping on and helping all of us. It was so fun.
So much fun, as always.
Well, good. You're, like I said, you're talking to people constantly. So you, Jen, who just popped your camera on and said hi real quick. It's so valuable to have your information, because you're hearing stuff from people constantly. So thank you. Alicia, as always. I mean, come on. Does it get any better? I don't think so.
It doesn't. Kevin, you rock. Thank you for all of that technical walkthrough. It's a lot. We appreciate you
all. We appreciate you. You're the best. We really appreciate it. We say BombBomb family. Maybe I use that term a little bit too much, but we really look at it that way. So
we do.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Beth Ellen's already saying, Tara, you glitter. So there you go. It's working. Have a great rest of your day, everybody. Go out, make somebody's day. Tell people that we appreciate them. Let's spread a little love around. Keep using video. We can't wait to see you next month. And if you feel like you have a really fun use case, email Alicia, send Alicia a little thing of kind of an aha moment, a powerful moment for you. And heck, maybe you could be on this next month. Let's see. All right. We appreciate y'all. Have a great day. We'll see you soon.